Patience of Divine Justice, 29th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Year C. In today's Gospel passage, a widow who has been treated unjustly goes to the house of a judge and insists that he gives her justice. Even though the judge has a reputation of not being just himself, this unjust judge gives the widow the justice she is asking for because the widow repeatedly keeps on asking him for justice. Jesus concludes the parable by teaching that if even an unjust judge will eventually do what is right if he's repeatedly asked, then even more so will God the Father give us justice, since God is the most just judge of all. We need to be patient as we wait for the justice of God. Due to a lack of patience, many people quickly become discouraged by the injustice of this world. Due to a lack of patience, many of us are tempted to give up hope in God's justice. Many of us are tempted to stop believing that Jesus will return one day to judge the living and the dead. In today's Gospel passage, Jesus foretells his return to judge the living and the dead with the mysterious words, "When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?" As explained by Brant Pitre, Jesus refers to himself as the Son of Man and not just a Son of Man. The definite article "the" and the indefinite article "a" indicates there are two kinds of Son of Men. There's a definite specific Son of Man, indicated by the specific term the Son of Man, and there are sons of men, indicated by the general term a Son of Man. The Old Testament, which Jesus is referring to, distinguishes between a specific Son of Man and a Son of Man in a general sense. The book of Daniel refers to a specific Son of Man in a special sense. Chapter 7 prophesies of a day when a divine being who looks like a Son of Man will descend from heaven, accompanied by clouds of glory, to judge all nations and establish an everlasting eternal kingdom. In contrast, Psalm 144 refers to a Son of Man in a general sense by asking, "What is man that you regard him, or the Son of Man that you think of him?" In this verse, the psalmist uses the title "a Son of Man" simply to designate all men. Jesus fulfills both kinds of Son of Men in the great mystery of the Incarnation by being fully human and fully divine. At the time of Jesus, Jewish tradition and the Old Testament held that one day God will manifest himself to judge the world and in so doing remake the world into, as the prophet Isaiah states, a new heavens and a new earth, where justice and peace will reign. Jewish scripture also refers to a time when the Israelites will be scattered among the nations, lose faith in God, experience many trials and tribulations, and only after this period of testing will God return as a merciful God who will not fail you or destroy you or forget the covenant with your fathers which he swore to them. The times we are living are times of trials, tribulations, idolatry, scandals, both within the church and outside of the church. May we not become discouraged by our times, by the bad news we hear, by the multiple scandals we hear or may even experience. Instead, encouraged by Jesus, may we remain in hope as we patiently persevere in prayer and loving faith. May we be encouraged by the hopeful words of Benedict XVI. Christ is risen. There is justice for the world. There is complete justice for all, which is able to retroactively make good all past sufferings. And this is because God exists and he has the power to do it. Similarly, Pope Francis proclaimed, "The Lord is truly risen as he said. May Jesus, who vanquished the darkness of sin and death, grant peace to our days." God bless.